Well, I'm Sylvia Whitmore, and this is my husband, Derek Whitmore. We have been living in this town all our life. We're born and raised here. And we've got a really strong connection, a strong marriage. The only thing that was really missing was just something to love. You know, we tried for several years to have a child, but it turns out either I'm barren or he's shooting blanks. We don't know which. We decided not to find out because we didn't want to hate each other. Oh, my goodness. But I just found that I have so much love to give, you know, and I just thought to myself, I have got to put it somewhere. I have got to shove my love into something other than to sweet old Derek here. Right, honey?
Right.
He makes me laugh like nobody else, let me tell you. Well, after thinking long and hard and realizing that there was only really 3 things I love in this world, one of them being Derek, the other one being feathers, well, and the third being chickens. So you have met Thibodaux here. He is my pride and joy. He is known as a featherless chicken, also known as an Egyptian headless chicken, also known as the love of my life. No offense, sweetheart. He gets a little riled up sometimes when we turn the camera on him. So if you'll just excuse him being a little crazy. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, God, he brings so much joy to my life. You know, Derek was warning me. He said, you know, we don't live out in the country anymore. We live in the suburbs of this town. Chickens are too noisy. Well, I have not experienced that with Thibodaux. Okay, Thibodaux is quiet when I tell him to be quiet. And when I tell him it's time to get wild and crazy, he's usually still quiet. But he brings me joy. Oh, hold on just a second. Oh, make a wish, honey. It's one of his feathers. It's such a rarity for him to have any feathers that you got to make a wish on it when you find one. You know, he's got different outfits. I dress him up for all the different times of the year. He's always got his pumpkin outfit for Halloween, and I dress him up like a little elf for Christmas. And for Arbor Day, I dress him up as a tree. You know, not everyone that I know understands my love of this wonderful creature. And they feel like maybe it's just a lot of upkeep. I mean, I have to rub, you know, canola oil on him to keep him moist. I have to sometimes put him in saran wrap and put him in the deep freeze just to keep him from decomposing. But it's worth it to me. I mean, if you had a child, you would do what you could to keep that child alive, right? I mean, feeding and clothing and disciplining. And I do have to discipline him sometimes. I do. Don't I? Sometimes I just have to smack your behind and say, stay on that pillow. Right, Derek?
Right.
Derek doesn't like to discipline. Derek just lets him do whatever he wants. Hey, Thibodaux. Do you want me to sing to you? Okay, I'll sing our little song. These are my legs, these are my wings, and this is where my head should be. Woo! Hello. When I first brought Thibodaux home, when we walked into the door of this house, I thought to myself, complete. I just felt complete having him in my arms. He was only about this big. So as you can tell from previous shots, he's grown a lot. I remember bringing him into his room, and he just couldn't believe that that was his room to himself. And I said, yes, that is your room. And yes, I did get you bunk beds in case you want to have a friend over. That's how we do it in this house. And I did say, yes, get ready for an onslaught of love, Thibodaux. I've got so much of it to give.
Sylvia's actually just filled with love. That's one of the reasons I fell in love with her, is because she's just got so much love for everybody and everything. And I swear if you cut her open, love would just spill out. Probably make a mess on the floor. A mess of love.
You know, with Derek, what you see is what you get, you know. He's a man of very few words. He's a man of very few emotions. And so I think that there are just parts of me that work well with Derek, and then there are parts of me that work well with Thibodaux, because Thibodaux is just so lively, you know, and Thibodaux appreciates good conversation, and he's willing to try new things and meet new people. And so I just feel as though I am able to share another part of me with Thibodaux, and then Derek gets to have, well, you know, the part of me that he's always had. Derek's always had me in a carnal sense. Thibodaux and I have a much more pure relationship. Derek makes me do things that I know are my duty, and I do them, but they make me uncomfortable. Do we have to record this part?
Recently Sylvia has decided to let the chicken sleep in the bed with us. And as you can imagine, it makes sexual relations a little awkward. That chicken just staring at you while you're doing your business. That's just kind of unnatural.
You know, some of my friends and family don't understand the love that I have for Thibodaux. And I fire right back at them. What's the difference between my Thibodaux and your child? They can't answer it. They just look at me like I'm crazy. I love Thibodaux so much. You know, one time Thibodaux got lost, and I have never told Derek the truth about this. I told Derek, I was like, you better go out there and find him, you better make posters. And I made it seem as though Thibodaux just got loose. The truth is, I lost Thibodaux. I lost Thibodaux. Now that is every mother's nightmare. I am ashamed of it. But I lost him. I had brought him to a Chuck E. Cheese. And I think I lost him in the ball pit. You know, I said sorry to Thibodaux about that so many times. I just never feel like maybe he trusts me as much as he did before that incident. I blame myself, you know. We've had to homeschool him. Derek doesn't like that. Derek says, no, let's put him in the Montessori. He's more of a Montessori chicken. And I was like, no, they don't understand him the way I do. I need to homeschool him. He's got special needs. Yeah, Derek says, yeah, his special need is the fact that he doesn't have a head. Again, more discrimination. You know, people fear things that they don't understand. I understand Thibodaux. Okay? And Thibodaux understands me.
Recently, we lost she made me make posters and put them up all around town. That was an awkward conversation with the sheriff, let me tell you. Well, Sylvia swears to God that the chicken, Thibodaux, lays eggs around the house. The other day when I was on my way to work, I put my foot in my shoe and there was an egg. That was a mess. I was 20 minutes late to work. I had to explain to my boss that my pet chicken laid an egg in my shoe.
My greatest fear is something happening to Thibodaux. I know that he looks really capable, but I do worry about him maybe wandering off in the yard and getting picked up by an American bald eagle. I worry about him hanging out with the wrong crowd and picking up bad habits. I worry about him, being with other people. Are they going to accept him for what he is? Is he going to have a hard life? What if, God forbid, both myself and Derek expire at the same time, like in a car wreck or in an electrical storm? What's going to happen to Thibodaux?
Sylvia got upset because she found a pack of cigarettes and she thought that Thibodaux was starting to smoke. So she made me take him out back and have a conversation with him.
I'm sorry, but nothing can replace my love for Thibodaux, and Thibodaux knows that, I mean, who else is going to come into his room in the middle of the night when he's woken up from a nightmare and hold on to his little wing and just lay there with him and sing to him just, hymns from the Bible that calm him down? No one else is going to do that.
Sylvia wants me to explain the birds and the bees to Thibodaux. She thinks he's at the age where he might be thinking sexual thoughts. Not to mention the other day I came home and Thibodaux was hanging out in the hot tub with a ham. That's just unnatural.
I just hope that someday Thibodaux can meet a nice chicken that he has things in common with and that understands him and that he understands, and they can build a life together. And that maybe they make me a grandmother. Thibodaux, he won't confide in everybody, but he has whispered in my ear. He has dreams. He wants to be a sommelier. Apparently that's a person who's an expert on wine. Can you imagine? So young, but has such high aspirations. He says that he'd like to relocate to Napa Valley when he gets older. Yeah, my baby's got dreams. He's going to get out of this small town. Oh, do y'all want to see him dance? Boop, boop, boop. If that's not the Michael Jackson of chickens, I don't know what is. Oh, hanging open. You're such a dirty boy. You were so dirty. You were so dirty. Now say hi. Wave hi. Remember, I taught you how to do that. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, I helped him on that one a little bit. He's shy.